What's with these guys?
Hello, everyone, and of course, welcome to Red United TV. It's your boy Ivorian Spice, and we are back at it again with the catch up volume 111. Another week, but it's not the best week for Manchester United. Manchester United have suffered a defeat against Arsenal on the weekend. And of course, for those who are new to this channel, remember we are here to break down and discuss everything about this match, of course, with our panel as well. So make sure before you even start off, make sure you subscribe to Red United TV. And of course, follow Red United TV on Instagram, which is Red United TV1, and follow Red United TV on Twitter, which is Ivorian_Spice. My personal Instagram account, same user as well. And of course, follow Red United on Twitch for those who are watching across all social media platforms, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure you continue smashing that like button, share across all social media platforms, get yourself involved. I've got my guests and I've got those who will be joining us later on while we are streaming. I thought we're still missing Jerome, but Jerome will get there. Of course, he said he's working and he's traveling as well, so hopefully he should be home within time. But big up, I've got Ola as well with me. Ola from, of course, the football fan Melly, I have to say, which is an interesting name. Big up to you, my brother. How you doing?
Big up. I'm good. It's good to be back. Like I've been gone for a while, but now I'm back, fully back. So guys, please support the channel, like, subscribe, share the video, and let's get going.
And another person who's making their Red United TV debut on all social media platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, is of course a lady right here, Sheezy, which one day came on to one of my live streams, and I was like, you know what, I like you, I like your knowledge and everything. So I thought let me invite her to the show. Sheezy, how are you? Welcome as well.
I'm fine. I mean, disappointed, but I'm good. And it's nice to join. It's nice to be here. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the invite. I really appreciate it. And yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, of course. Let's get started. We've got our boy Jerome as well. Jerome just got himself top off because, of course, he's still steaming from yesterday's game. Well, big up, my boy Jerome. What
you say, man? Yeah, man. I've had a long day, man. Just had to quickly jump in the shower, get all that sweat off and that long hard graft. So yeah, I haven't had that much time to digest yesterday's results because it's been so busy today. But I'm sure we'll get into it shortly.
Yes, of course, man. We'll get into the show right now. We're about to start off as always. Let's get kicking because it's been a tough couple of 24 hours for us because a lot of things come out, guys. We've got the Jadon Sancho situation, the statement as well, and I'm hearing alleged allegedly Anthony as well has caught a case apparently, but there's news on that. But let's go straight into the Manchester United game. As always, it is Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. Manchester United losing the last 8 minutes, and 8 minutes of madness in injury time. Manchester United all of a sudden started off very well in the first 45 minutes against Arsenal. Yes, again, I'll say it, Arsenal, because I've always said it before. Playing Arsenal on a Sunday at Emirates Stadium, 4:30, and the sun happens to be out, it's a long day for us, because all I remember is that it's never been good on those 3 occasions. But Manchester United starting off 45 minutes to the game in control in terms of possession, something that we've never seen in a big game away from home. Manchester United controlling the game, and of course getting the early goal, a goal from Marcus Rashford, a lovely pass slipped through by Christian Eriksen, doing his bit, playing as a deep line playmaker in midfield, supporting his partner Casemiro, unlike some other midfielders. But yes, we're not going to go there right now. But yes, Arsenal as well, equalizing within 36 seconds. Manchester United didn't even get to blink before we conceded the goal. Us fans didn't even got to sit down after cheering on the goal. But yes, Odegaard, Manchester United going to that second half, guys. And then we thought we had the winner, Alejandro Garnacho, but VAR fucked us over in that game. But then 8 minutes came. Last 8 minutes, you think, Man United, hold it down. Because the moment we saw Harry Maguire come on, we threw in the towel. We knew exactly what the story would tell and what will be unfolded. But Evans coming on as well. Manchester United folding, a goal from Declan Rice. Evans talking about being fouled, but it was never given. And of course, on the counter-attack, we've got Gabriel Jesus making our players, defenders, both of our defenders, Harry Maguire, and of course, Johnny Evans, including the goalkeeper, look like fools. But Manchester United lose that game against Arsenal. It hurts, yeah, but I didn't expect a win. I'm going to start off with you, Ola. Let me get your overall thoughts on that game.
Like, I'm sad that we lost 3-1 to Arsenal because, like you said, we dominated the game. The possession was, at the end of the day, was 50-50% to both teams, but we didn't really create much. And that's what, and I think in the last couple of games, we were creating the chances, but we're not taking them. But against Arsenal, we didn't create much. We were moving the ball around very well, but we're not able to create a lot of chances. And VAR, I don't want to speak about that because sometimes you have some decisions going in your favor. Sometimes you have some that don't go in your favor. And with that, I thought that was like that was a goal. But at the end of the day, VAR, I don't.
I think we kind of lost Ola right there, you know, with the connection. I don't know. Probably we're gonna have to get his views and opinion. But Sheezy, I'm gonna go straight to you. Your overall thoughts on that game against Arsenal? Manchester United losing 3-1 in the last 8 minutes.
Can you hold on? I'll call him later. I'm doing something. I'll call him later. First of all, I'm really, really disappointed, to be honest, because this is one of the first time that I've seen us play good in a top six against the top six in a long time. I won't be, most especially away. We were like, the passes were there, like everything was just, we played really, really fast. Even the manager said it, that this is a step forward, and it was so good. But maybe unlucky, we lost some players and lack of concentration, because first of all, I don't know how we're going to concede and then immediately, I don't know how we're going to score and immediately concede. It's crazy. So it did what it is. It's kind of disappointing.
Jerome, let me get your overall thoughts on that game before I bring back Ola, and because Ola, we didn't get everything that you got to say, but let me start for Jerome. Jerome, overall thoughts. Arsenal,
Yeah, overall, obviously the result was very frustrating because of the manner in which we lost the game. Because I just thought, yeah, it's 1-1. We're unlucky to get the goal that was offside. That I, to this day, think that it was onside. And I think that was a bad VAR decision. But after that, I still felt that we could just see out the game 1-1. So it always hurts. No matter what, you could try and sugarcoat it, no matter what. But when you lose a game in a very last minute in stoppage time, it always leaves that bad feeling. There's no getting away from that. So that's what just kind of just made me a bit frustrated and disappointed in the result. But in terms of the performance, I think we played quite well. Like before the game, I would have taken a draw, and I didn't even think we was going to win. I wasn't that optimistic about the game because of our current form and being away in the Emirates and not winning there in quite a while. So for us to play in the way we did is very encouraging going forward. And considering the team that we put out and our bench, it's not a championship winning squad by any stretch. And I just think that we just came there looking a bit light in numbers based on the bench and what we had available. But hopefully after the international break, the injuries that we've got, hopefully they're not long term, we can get them back. And obviously we've got Hoyland, who was a bright spark when he came on. So that's something to look forward to going forward. And then hopefully we get our first choice defensive partnership back as well, because we can't be, as M said in the comments, we can't be starting or bringing on Maguire and Evans in 2023, old Leicester partnership from all those years back. We can't be living in the past. We need to start moving forward, and I personally blame the board for that, for not getting rid of Maguire and for signing Johnny Evans. There are so many different options that we could have got and spent money on, but we went in this route. So you can see already that we've got internal problems at the club that still need addressing. But yeah, the game itself, I can't be happy with the result, but you just got to look at whatever positives you can from it. And we didn't get dominated, we didn't get pammed, as lots of Arsenal fans were saying that was going to happen. And for me, I just think that they were lucky in the end to get the win, and we didn't deserve to lose the game. So if we continue in this vein and improve going forward, then yeah, I think we'll be in a good place. So yeah, it's not all doom and gloom from that result.
Yep, absolutely not all doom and gloom from the result. But in my personal opinion, I have to say that Manchester United themselves didn't really deserve to lose. But I'm going to go back into you because we never got to get the full intake before you disconnected. So back to you again, your thoughts on that game.
Yeah, like Jerome just said, you just have to pick the positive of the game, and I think Oyland is one positive for me because he came on, he showed what he can offer for us as our centre forward, and just like you said, 8 minutes of madness. We could have been more composed, but when you have Maguire and Evans in your defense, you don't really expect much. So it's just like having two guys that are, I don't even know what to describe them as, and I don't blame Erik. I think he's short of options. He just has to manage what he has, and that's why he ended up with the likes of Maguire and Evans, because we would have gotten a good defender. And that's why I still stick with the fact that this comes from the ownership down to the board and down to everyone, because the bad decisions they made in the past is what is hurting us now, given signing players for huge amounts, giving them ridiculous amount of salaries. All those things are what is hindering us moving forward now. And it's just so sad that it's now that we have a manager like Erik that is ready to build, that is giving us things to be happy about, like style of play, performances, and way of coaching. That's when we're having this issue. But I just hope, I hope after the international break, when we are back, hopefully Martinez is not, it's just a knock. And I think Lindelof was taken off for precaution. I don't know, maybe because of the yellow card. So because I don't want to see Maguire and Johnny Evans playing in our defense, because we can score goals. The midfield will be stronger with Amrabat in it, but when you have Evans and Maguire in defense, you concede a lot of goals and a lot of chances. So we just need to look for a way to fix it now. Now the transfer window is done, so we can't sign anyone. We have to work with what we have, and that's why I am sad for the situation we are in. But the Arsenal game, I just feel at least a draw would have been a good result for us. The ref, well, I don't want to complain about the ref too much because we know this with English referees. They are used to things like this, and we were hoping it will improve this season, but it's just basically the same as last season, and seems the decisions are even getting worse. And if it favors you, you'll be happy, but just remember there will be a day that decision will not go in favor of you, and when you start complaining, we'll say the same like we said yesterday. So overall, the performance was okay, but the result was disappointing. And hopefully, after the national break, we can kick on and start getting results that we deserve.
Absolutely, man. Big up to everyone that's tuning in right now. Remember to smash that like button and subscribe to Red United TV, especially for those who are watching on Facebook. Many of you guys, 117 people watching on Red United MUFC Facebook group. Make sure you click on the link, go into Red United TV on YouTube, and join the community as well. But yes, back to that game. Of course, I want to go straight to you, Sheezy. That moment we saw Harry Maguire come on in that substitution, and of course Johnny Evans coming on us again. What was going through your mind at that moment? Because you saw Arsenal fans, they were cheering the fact that Maguire came on. They were even chanting his name. Did that say everything that you need to know about the moment Maguire came on? What was your thoughts on that moment there?
I was watching the game with my brother and I told him it's done. It's done. I said when I saw him jogging in, I was like, what the fuck? It's done. It's done. Because let's be sincere with ourselves. Is as Ola have said, like from the top to bottom is just rotten. And it's so unfortunate that a manager like Ten Hag is the one that is in this situation because everything is going to be coming down on him. But clearly we can see this guy asked for Todibo. Imagine it was someone like Todibo or like a better defender that came in. Like, fair enough. Evans was kind of foul because I checked. I didn't even see it when the goal went in, but when I checked, I saw that that was a foul. But still, like, it's just kind of ridiculous that we are bringing in a player. He's not good enough for the team, and we all know that the team, the board are not supporting like the manager. Trust me, they said okay, they bought this guy for this price. It's not the manager's fault that they bought him for that amount of money.
Yeah.
You just tell them this is the player that they want. It now depends on our negotiation skills. We are so bad. Imagine we sold the likes of what's his name? This what's his name? I forgot. We sold the
Smalling.
Zidane
Oh,
for
is it
1 million.
that?
Can you just imagine? Chelsea would have gotten like 25 million for that guy, and that's fact because he's a good player. He's decent. We are so bad in transfers. We are so bad in everything. We need change. Like they need to like start from the beginning. To be honest, that's what happened when you don't have good footballing team, people that like care about the sport. If you had like just like look at Bayern from the top to bottom, people that love football, people that live for football. Like it's kind of so ridiculous and annoying. Like it looks like I'm crying now, but it's just so annoying. How can you be bringing in Evans, Man United in 2023? Evans, it's so crazy, and like I mean that Garnacho goal.
Mhm,
It's I don't know because depending on the angle that you see
mhm,
it, I know that VAR made mistake surely because to me, when I saw it, I thought it was a goal. And I don't know. I've seen it several times. I don't know how they drew their lines. I don't know
mhm.
what they did. I think it's an error from them. It's a definite error from them. And even the challenge on Oiland in like few minutes before Arsenal scored, like what's it called? Against Gabriel, like Gabriel against Oiland. That's a foul. Like you saw like there's so many decisions that went against us, and now people are seeing it. But when decisions start going in our favor, everyone start calling Manchester United, right? Because now, yeah, it's true because everyone is seeing now that this is like the second time. No, the first match that they were like, oh, this penalty was supposed to be. The next match, they didn't give us a penalty because of what has happened in the previous match, which is very silly. because the penalty against Tottenham, that was a stonewall penalty. We didn't get that. And other decisions. And now in this match, like three decisions went away from. Thank God for Thank God they even used the VAR well. We probably would have considered a penalty that was not. So
Yes.
like now I just hope everyone is seeing the work, because when they start giving us decisions, I won't even say it. I said like it serves them right, because we've had because now we've lost like 6 points because of that. If we had the penalty against Tottenham, the match might have not gone the way it went. You know, situations like that changes the game. And even I think that Garnacho goal, when it was disallowed, even destroyed the morale of the team, because we just went down after that. If you notice, we just the only player that really gave me hope that yesterday was Oiland. I was like, God. Immediately when it was coming, I watched it. I told my brother, this guy knows how to use the ball. That's one difference between A and Haaland. If you notice, he knows how to dribble with the ball. He knows how to, and he showed it. He knows how. He has the strength. And I just hope after the what's it called, the international break, we cannot forget everything that has happened and just start, because we're playing Brighton and they're one of the toughest teams to play. Well, it's not an I don't know if we're home or away, but
Oh, we're at Old Trafford. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, which I mean they beat us at Old Trafford last season, so like it's not an easy thing to do, but we just have to like just start or just forget it. And now the Sancho situation.
We'll
You
talk
know what?
about that
I
in a
know
minute
that's
as
what I'm
well.
just trying to say, that because we need to move forward, but now things are just happening. Things are just coming in. I don't know what's wrong with this club. From like everything is just happening left, right, center. Well, to me, I just think there's a positive in the game, and we played well, and I'm going to take that. That's
Yeah.
why I'm not too mad, because if it was like all Arsenal, it would have been so annoying. When we scored, we deserved to score. But that equalizer was so stupid. We just lost concentration within 30 something seconds. And I haven't even finished celebrating. I was just still standing. I was still standing. And then before I knew it, it was a goal. I was like, oh my God.
Certain
Well,
people were still celebrating the United
yeah,
goal when Arsenal scored.
Yep.
yeah.
That's how quick it was.
That's how quick it was. I'm just gonna stop you there, Sheezy. Of course, I'm gonna go straight to you, Jerome. Of course, Haaland making his debut. What was your thoughts on Hoyland's performance, the mini cameo that you saw? Was you impressed? And also, any other players that you'd like to discuss in terms of good performance or bad performance? Let's go, guys. We're gonna move straight into the players. We got for about 5, 6 more minutes until we move on to our next topic. So we're
Yeah,
gonna
I was I
focus on the
was
players.
hugely impressed with Foyne because obviously he's coming on in a very big game. Like Arsenal historically are one of our biggest rivals throughout the 2000s, the 90s and 2000s, going toe to toe for the Premier League. So for him to come on in a game in that magnitude, 20 years old, away from home, I was impressed. He came on with no fear. He showed pace. It looks like he's got good hold up play because that's something that we've been lacking because of obvious reasons of Martial's fitness. So yeah, I'm hugely encouraged, and I'm not expecting him to score 20, 30 goals in his first season. That's too much to ask for a 20-year-old that only scored 9 goals last season. But I think he could add a new dimension to our play because we've been lacking up front for a long time now, since last season. And the contrast in his cameo to Martial's it was just so shocking that I think Martial might be done
Yep.
at the top level, but that's a debate for another day. But with Hoyland, obviously it's a big, huge price tag, a lot of pressure on him, but he looks like a young kid that's coming in with no fear, and that's what we need. And he really wanted to come to the club. We need to keep making sure that we get signings like that where they just focus on just coming to United and they're not just coming for the money and the fame. They're coming to make a difference. And based on his short cameo, I'm convinced that he's going to be the guy for us. But obviously, we've got to not overhype him. Just be patient with him because there will be days where he might not like perform as he would have liked because he's still a young player. And we can't expect 8 to 9 out of 10 performances every week. But yeah, it's definitely encouraging and it's something for us to look forward to because if we never had him, then you can forget about any top 4 push because Marshall's not going to stay fit. and Rashford's not a striker, so it's just good that we've got someone else in. But I think he is going to need help though. So hopefully in January, if we've got new owners by then, hopefully, a big hopefully, we can get another striker in, because we can't rely on Haaland to get us over the line every week. He's going to need help as well, and Martial is so unreliable. So, but in terms of other performances, I was hugely impressed with Dallo playing at left back. Yeah, Dallo was immense. So I'm impressed with him. The question marks about his defending and his attacking. People are telling me that he can't defend or attack, but I think he's actually good. So we just need more consistency from Dallo. But his performances, it definitely shone through on a big stage at the Emirates yesterday. And who else? I think Eriksen did okay from what I saw from him. Obviously, he made the pass for Rashford's opening goal. And I was beginning to have a bit of doubts about Eriksen because of his fitness levels. But I think he can still do a job for us. Maybe not as a week in, week out starter, but I think his best role will be coming on as an impact sub. Especially now that we've got Amrabat coming in. Hopefully, these next 2 weeks, Amrabat can get up to fitness, and then he can start alongside Casemiro, and then we can get Eriksen on as an impact guy. But yeah, those are the performances that stood out for me really. But overall, as a team, I think we played well. Anthony worked quite hard. I know a lot of people were critical of Anthony, but he works hard for the team. But we just need to see more GA from Anthony. But overall, yeah, at least he's put in the shift in, which is more than can be said for certain people. So yeah, that's how I viewed it yesterday.
We're going to stop everyone from there and then end it there with the Manchester United review. Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe across all social media platforms as we continue to stream. We're about to venture onto the Jadon Sancho's statement. Of course, after the defeat, Erik ten Hag was questioned in press conference and was asked a particular question regarding the mission of Jadon Sancho himself. And his response was, Jadon, on his performance in training, we did not select him, the United boss said after defeat. You have to reach a level every day at Manchester United. We can make choices in the front line. So for this game, he was not selected. In my opinion, when I first heard that, especially in his press conference, I didn't see it as anything rude, malicious, with any intent. If you just stating the obvious that a player didn't perform to a certain level in training, so they weren't selected. And I understand that happens with players if they're in competition with each other. 1 week you get selected, the following week you don't get selected because you've never trained to the level that you was meant to be training for, and that plays a factor in selection. So the manager himself has every right to say that. But Jadon Sancho clapped back later on Twitter. You see, as Shizi was saying, it's like a soap opera every time. You know, we lose a game, and then this follows up, and then you got the anti situation. It's just too much, and they make you forget. Like, hold on a minute. I'm not going to forget. Glazers are still here. You men need to go. I'm not going to forget that. Don't try and spin my mind all over the place. I ain't forgotten the real problem. But yes, Jadon Sancho claps back, says, please don't believe everything you read. I will not allow people saying the things that is completely untrue. I have conducted myself in training well this week. I believe there are other reasons for the matter that I won't go into. I've been scapegoated for a long time, which isn't fair. All I want to do is play football with a smile on my face and contribute to my team. I respect all the decisions that are made by the coaching staff. I've played with a fantastic players. I'm grateful to do so, which I know every week is a challenge. You know, that's what he said. I will continue to fight for this badge no matter what. And he ends it like that, Jadon Sancho. And of course, as the day has gone by, there has been news of Manchester United and Erik ten Hag with Sancho to have clear the air talk. I'm hoping that happened. But at the end of the day, regarding Jadon Sancho's response, I am not pleased. You know, again, we're still having players who like to talk back to their manager and disrespect the club and disrespect the manager. Your manager's within his right to say that you haven't performed to a certain extent in training because you're not the one that's carrying the level of measurement in his performance. And then there, Jadon Sancho, you don't do your own performance review when it comes to your performance review at the end of your job. There's no, you get to put your input in your performance, but you don't get the overall say of how well you performed, whether you did well. That's on the manager. So again, Jadon Sancho completely in the wrong. Ola, I'm gonna get your thoughts on, and then from there we keep it open in this debate. Was Sancho
Yeah,
right or wrong? And was
Sancho was
Eric
wrong.
Ten Hag right or wrong?
Sancho was wrong for that. I think
Mm.
Erik Ten Hag, as a manager, has done
Mhm.
everything in his power to support Jadon Sancho, even sending him off to go train alone and just try and bring him to that level he's supposed to be in. So, as a manager that has done everything that he needs to do to support a player, I think he was just fed up about him not performing, and that was why he said what he said in that game. Because with Erik Ten Hag, he always backs his players in the media, but behind closed doors, well, even Maguire, he backs Maguire as much as we hate it. He tries to back him
Lie.
as much as possible. So for him to come out and talk about Sancho, he was fed up of what was going on with Sancho because he has done his best. Like, and with Sancho, we don't need tenants to tell us that he's not playing well because we all know, like, he's on 300 plus a week and he has done nothing to what that amount. Look at Mitoma advising. Look at, like, you can call 20 wingers before you call your Sancho that are playing really well in the league, and you are playing for Manchester United. You have to play at the top level. So Erik Ten Hag was right for saying that, because at the end of the day, people just think he shouldn't have said this because of he's the manager, this and that. At some point, when you get fed up of things, you come out and say. And why I was annoyed with Sancho's statement and reply was, he did something like this with Rashford when he came late to training or a meeting. Rashford came on the second half and scored, bounced back and performed really well. I was seeing this to be a motivation for Sancho to train well and come on in a game and show us what he can offer. But instead of that, he decided to go online and go on social media and say this, say that. We don't need this type of atmosphere. We don't need players like this now in our team, as far as I'm concerned. We need people that will back us and just support what the manager is trying to do. But with players like Jadon Sancho, they feel everything is just about social media saying this and saying that. And I think it should be punished for that. I don't know what they can do, but I think it should be punished for that, because you don't come out and basically tackling your coach, that your coach is saying something that is wrong against you. Because Taylor didn't say anything wrong. Taylor just said he wasn't in the matchday squad because he didn't perform well in training. That's all. But you went on and ranting, and with what Sancho is saying is as if maybe there's an issue that we don't know about. If there's something like that, fine, maybe they should let us know. But I don't think it's that deep. But Sancho took it to another level, and I think there should be a discussion on this matter. And there should be a rule to all players. You don't come out and say things against your manager, no matter what. Like, can Sancho try this with a Murillo? No, you won't play again. That's the truth. Even Sir Alex, Ben Foster said it today, that if under Sir Alex, if you try something like this, you are out of the squad, which is true. The coach, the manager is the head of the team, so you should respect every decision and everything he does. If you're not okay with it, then leave. So I just think with United, it has been too toxic, and like everything going on is not just good enough, and that's why things like this can be happening. And so we got Sancho for 75 million, for God's sake. How many assists does he have? How many goals has he scored for United in the past 3 years? Every year we keep saying this should be Sancho's season. This should be Sancho. This is the third year, and we are still hoping and believing this will be Sancho's season to prove us wrong. But he has done, but he's not doing anything. So on Sancho, we don't need Erik Ten Hag to tell us that he's not good enough and he's not performing. And for Erik Ten Hag coming out to tell us, it shows us that what we as fans are thinking is right, and he needs to do better or he needs to go.
Yes. Anyone needs to say, Sheezy, I can see you itching to talk. What's your thoughts on this current situation with Jadon Sancho and the manager?
I mean, me from the beginning, I've always been like support the manager and all that. And to be honest, Sancho was 100% wrong in that aspect because let's be sincere with ourselves. He has not really when he play, though it's just like we are just 4 matches in the team, into the season. But Sancho have not been impressive. And this man, everything that happens, Now the lose, the draw, everything, the wins is on the manager. Anything that happens, they're not going to change the old team. It's going to be the manager that's going to face any criticism. And I could see yesterday when he was even doing his post match interview, he was angry because he was so disappointed. So like it's not about like people just always this man is here to do a job. He's not here to satisfy any player. He's here to satisfy the team. This man he allowed Sancho to leave the team, train private. There is no manager in like now that's going to do that for any player. I'm telling you for a fact. A player that you get for like 75 million and then you send him out to train privately because he's not doing something personally or he has some no, but like they don't look at just look at the situation with Pep and Kevin Phillips. When they asked Pep why is he not, Pep said because he has added weight, he's fat. That was what Pep said. Just imagine Sancho saying this. They will just tear off his contract in Man City. They don't care in that because they are run well. It's only Man United you see this kind of problem. It's only United you see this kind of problem because they're too comfortable, too much money for players that don't deserve it.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's just the truth. We just use money to drag players in. And that's what this man is trying to change. I mean, like you cannot. The manager is not here to talk about one player this, one player that. This is a if we win, we're all getting medals. If you lose, it's all on you. So we have to be a team, not one person. Like there was a scenario I watched. Sancho, he can't even track back. It will be walking. Like that's I think that's why people just think Ten Hag actually favors Anthony. To be honest, it's not that he favors him because Anthony has work rates than Sancho.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just the truth. I really love Sancho and I really wish it worked. But I mean, if you are coming out and you're not taking responsibilities for your actions as a player, we are all humans and we know that we go through personal things. But like it's getting too much, man. How many chances do you want to get? You're angry because someone that just came like you've been there for 2 seasons before this guy came in. For crying out loud. If you were good, first of all, you'll be in the team ahead of him. We won't even need to sign him at the first place.
Yeah.
If you're performing up to expectations. So like I just think yeah.
No
I
worries,
think
man. Jerome, you heard the
Yeah,
statements, you
yeah,
read it as well. Of course, your thoughts on it, and of course, the
yeah,
guys. There is clearly air talks from what I've been reading as well. So, what's your thoughts on Jadon Sancho's
yeah,
statement? Was he in the right? Was Ten
yeah.
Hag wrong to air out the publicity of the club? Or you could have said it differently. I want to know what you have to say.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I'm one of Sancho's biggest fans. Obviously,
Okay.
he grew up in Kennett and he's a South London man.
Yep.
I'm a South London man, so you're gonna back your local guy.
Hmm.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but I swear he's the highest paid earner. I
Yes.
think he even earns more than
Yes.
Rashford.
Yes, he
Um,
is.
this is his third season, and I haven't seen much from him at all. And me personally, I think that the manager's losing patience with him because I think last season he protected him and gave him a lot of time off to sort himself out and come back stronger, and he didn't. He just faded in games and wasn't doing nothing, wasn't tracking back. He was half-hearted in challenges, not even going into challenges, and it was almost just like we were playing with half a man in the team. Obviously, I know some guys in the comments saying that Sancho did more in pre-season, but pre-season is pre-season. This is the real season. This is where it matters. Right now, he's not performing, and from what the manager said, he's not doing nothing in training either. You need to work. You need to earn your place in the team, and for someone that earns over 300 grand a week, he should be working his socks off and doing his best every week. And it just seems like he's almost like, I don't want to sound extreme, but he's bordering on stealing a living and just sitting on the money and just sitting comfortable at Man United. And we haven't got time for passengers. Like we need to start having a team that's scrapping it and fighting at the top. Like we haven't got time for all these excuses and players complaining on social media. We just need players to just focus on football and start performing. Obviously, the manager, he could have probably dealt with it differently. He probably didn't, if he didn't want to, he didn't have to tell the media his real thoughts on Sancho. But as I just said, I think that he just thought, I've had enough now. And let me say this, and let me see if Sancho can use this as motivation to start performing. As like what Ole said, when Rashford turned up late for training and he sat out the next game, and then when he came back, he started performing. Instead of that, Sancho does the total opposite and starts moaning on social media and basically undermining the manager. And you can't do that. Not at Man United, where the spotlight's on you and the whole world's watching and everything gets blown out of proportion because it's Man United. So, and Sancho's been here long enough to know that him talking on social media was gonna basically just like escalate the story. Because to be fair, when I saw it yesterday, I didn't think it was going to be a big story until Sancho went on social media. So now he's going to need to have some sort of crisis meeting with the manager to see like how they move forward from here, because you can't be undermining the manager who runs the team. Because once you do that, then it gives other members of the playing squad the idea that they can start like talking against the manager as well and not listening to instructions and putting the work in. So something's got to be done there, and this is a big season for Sancho. If he doesn't perform this season, he needs to go, because this is his third season now, and we need to start moving forward. So hopefully they can have a crisis meeting, and make sure that they just sort out how they're gonna integrate him back into the team, because I still think he's got a role to play, and I still think the talent's there, but he just needs to put the work in, because as one of the guys in the comments said, he's just lazy. And maybe he might never be just lazy, maybe he's just not fit, and he's not fit because he's not working hard enough. And we need players, especially our high earners, to start making a difference in the team. So let's see what happens, because it's disappointing to say the least, because I expected big things from Sancho, but third season in, I haven't seen nothing from him.
Yes. Big up to Daniel as well, that's on the comment saying that all of our right wingers, we have Sancho has the worst attitude. This is not the first time a coach has complained about his training attitude. The guy's let me continue reading. This guy takes 350 a week for 2 seasons, and he has been utterly awful. Pep Guardiola called out Calvin Phillips, just like as Cheesy was saying, for being overweight and not training well, and nobody questioned Pep. It's only at United we pamper players who are rubbish. Sancho won't play for any serious club. And of course, Akinshola says, okay, we shall see before September, and maybe the coach will know what is doing or not. United, we stand. Kill Maestro as well on Twitch says Hoyland's gonna have an impact like Mason Greenwood, left, right, everywhere. And big up to my guy, of course, you not Spursy, Mikel Arteta. If that's the case, Ten Hag's trying to do so. Jose's under his skin. Poor man management, should have been better understanding of his player, and Sancho is definitely an arm around a player, which is true. Sometimes you gotta have to treat them nicely. Ever so.
But remember, he did that last season, didn't he?
Yes, he did that last season. He did that already. And like, how long is he going to keep putting his arm around him? He did that last season, and like Jerome said, hopefully this season is going to be his season. That was what we said last season.
Yeah, it's true.
What did we get? Nothing. So I think at the end of the day, at some point, we all are humans, like Sheila said, and at some point, you get frustrated with, okay, I've done everything to make sure this player can perform, but at the end of the day, he's not still performing. Like I would take Ahmad on the wing ahead of Sancho, because he would do a better job tracking back, helping. Look at Anthony, for instance. He's not giving us the output going forward that we really want from him, but defensively and like just his all-round play, he's doing something on the pitch. But with Sancho, you are not getting goals, you are not getting assists, your work rate is not there. So what do you offer? And you want to start all the games. How are you going to be able to do that? Like, I think he has had enough, and that statement was not to hurt Sancho. To me, it was to boost his confidence and try to make him do better in training and come on in the next game and show what he can offer. But like, I ever feel the statement was already planned, because he released the statement like an hour after after the interview, and I was like, what's going on here? And even if he was not happy with the statement, he would have spoken to Erik or done it, not social media. Social, and you are playing for Manchester United, any little news will be like the media will take it out of proportion. And that was what I've been trending yesterday up until now. And even the Arsenal game, no one is focusing on the game again. Everyone's talking about Sancho. This it was like the Ronaldo interview after the win against Fulham. After that, Garnacho scored a 9 minutes goal, sweet goal. But at the end of the day, it was all Ronaldo news after the game. And we are trying to stop this toxic environment. We want this team to be united. The fans, we are trying our best to make it united. We know the owners, we want them to go, fine. And we are also united on that decision, wanting them to go. So we don't need players like this in the dressing room. You should be confident enough to come on the pitch and show what you can offer. And Rashford did that last season. Garnacho also, I think Garnacho had an incident also with Erik, but he came on, he played well, scored the goal, and showed that okay, I can offer on the pitch, I can do my job, because their job is to play on the pitch and score. It's not to just score. It's not to come and be doing fine boy. Nobody, like no one cares about how handsome you are. Deliver, assist goals. That's what we want. And you are on good money. Yes, you are on good money. You are you are the highest paid in the club, and you are doing nothing. It's just as if I'm not working and I'm being paid salary. That's what he's doing. And I love Sancho. He's a player I want to do well. But if he is going this route with this attitude, I don't think he's even going to play. Talk less of doing well, because I see Ahmad coming back and playing ahead of Sancho if he continues this way. So if there's any way United can resolve it behind closed doors, they should do that. Talk to the manager and the player. They should settle it and let us see him performing week in, week out. But else, if he doesn't perform, I think the fans will be united against him, because now he's claiming the manager has done this or something, or the manager is being biased. Basically, that's what he's saying. So now the fans can be united against him if he doesn't perform. And I know Erik, if you do well in training and if you play, you will play. Look at Garnacho. Garnacho came on, he scored the goal. Fine, it was good. That was ball. In the few minutes he was on, he showed something. Oyland came in the second half. He showed something. That's what we need. Oyland did score, but
I'm sorry to cut you off.
that game.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
If the goal was not disallowed, we would have gotten the third goal in that game, because he did just in place of 5-10 minutes. He already showed us what he can offer. But Sancho is just there doing nothing, not getting assists, not scoring, not tracking back, and you're on 350k. So I can say anything to you as a manager, and you should not get angry because you are getting your salary at the end of the week or at the end of the month. So I don't care whatever Etena say. He's the manager and he's in charge of the team, and he has to go about it the way he thinks is best.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop you there, guys, because we're coming close to the end of the show. Shiji, I know you wanted to say something, but I'm gonna let you quickly just say it. But let me just read Daniel's comments as well from Facebook. This is not the first time Ten Hag has ever criticized a player. He did the same to Garnacho. He worked hard and got back into the team. Wan-Bissaka the same. Sancho's just petty. Ten Hag is trying to raise standards, and the club has to stand by him. Under Fergie, after this Sancho tweet, he would never play for the club again. We have to get that to that level where no player is bigger than the manager. And of course, let me just go. Shizi, I just wanted you to just say what you need to say quickly, but we've got just the last 6-7 minutes left, and we need to touch on the Anthony situation. So what you need to say, if you could just quickly just say that.
No, I just wanted to say that look at what happened with this guy in Liverpool. What's his name? This that striker. That look at the guy was criticized like so many times. Nunes, yes, so many times, but it came on. It came on against Newcastle, scored the 2 goals that won that game, started the next game, and still performed well. That's like things like that. You motivate yourself as a player as well. Nobody told you to be a footballer. You want to be a footballer because you love the sport. So, like, you have opportunity to play. Like, there's so many talent that are wasting in Africa and other places.
Yes,
but you have the opportunity to play good football in Manchester United, like the biggest club literally in the world. But like, it's so crazy, I just wish they can solve it behind the closed door, because I don't want this situation to be the end of Sancho in the club.
Yeah.
I don't want this.
Yeah, and I don't want it to be a circus for these next 2 weeks in international break. I
Yeah.
want some positive news from United.
Well,
No,
speaking
yeah,
of circus, guys, we
yeah.
have moving straight into it, and the Anthony allegation. Anthony has been, of course, accused of domestic violence with him and his former ex-girlfriend, which has taken place about a couple of years ago. I think last year, the year before. But she has now come out ever since. I think he's been playing for Manchester United, come out with these allegations, and of course this has been investigated. Anthony as well has come out with his own statement to address the situation or the allegation. Out of respect, what Anthony's saying, for my family, friends, and family, I feel obligated to speak publicly about the false accusations I have been a victim of. From the beginning, I have handled this issue seriously with respect, providing the due clarification to the police authority. The police inquest is under cover of justice, and therefore cannot make it content public. That's what he's saying. However, I can say that with the confidence with the accusations are false, and that the evidence already produced for more to be produced shows that I am innocent of the accusations made. My relationship with Miss Gabrielle was tumultuous with verbal with verbal offenses. So that's what he said, from both sides. So both sides verbally abused them, but abuse each other. I mean, but I never practiced any physical aggression. Every time, whether it's in testimony or in an interview, she presented a different version of the accusation. Thus, I came to deny the accusation made. I know this is not written by him because he just started the word with thus. You know, no footballer uses the word thus in any of their statements, like they're writing an essay. Thus, I came to deny the accusation made and informed that I remain at the full disposal of the Brazilian authorities to clarify what is needed. I trust the ongoing police investigation will reveal the truth about my innocence. So Anthony's saying that yes, I was in a toxic relationship where verbal abuse was being used towards each other back and forth, but I did not hit her. I did not physically hit her. But as you were saying before, the circus still continues with Manchester United. Got the last 5-10 minutes now, guys. I'm going to keep this open, so whoever wants to take this right now can take the spot, and then, of course, alternate, and then we end the show. Who wants to
I
go
just want to
first?
say something. I just want to say something for this, because me personally, when it comes to domestic violence or any form of abuse, I just try to stay neutral, because trust me, there are always two sides to a story and all that. I don't want to, like, I remember when Sancho's situation came into, I was like, no, 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 no. Until when the evidence came out, then I was like, wow, so this is what happened. So, like, domestic violence, I'm just so not for it. And I just hope it's not true. I hope it never hit her, because if it did, that's another player gone again. So, that's just what I want to say. Domestic violence, no, no. So,
Anyone's got
Yeah.
anything to say regarding the situation, Jerome?
Yeah, I'm just hoping that it gets sorted out quickly and this doesn't drag on because, like you said, we don't want to be working under a circus. We just need to focus on football, like what clubs like Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal are doing. That's why they're winning games, because they're just focusing on football and they're bringing in the right caliber of players. And I think these allegations started before we signed Anthony. I think the dates were before we actually signed him. But obviously, because he's our player, he's our problem. So he works hard for the team, and like Shizi said, we have to wait for all the details. We can't make our judgments now with limited information. So let them investigate, and whatever they find, then we have to make our decisions and our judgments from there. But fingers crossed, it's nothing serious, and they can put it behind them, because we've had enough domestic violence issues with this club,
Yep, we've had too
and
much.
and controversies. So it just shows that when you're buying players, you need to look at them as people or not just footballers. You can buy the best player in the world, but if they're bad as a human being, then it's not going to work. So these are the things that, because I remember when we had Fergie used to always say that when he was profiling players, he was always looking at the personality and the human traits of the player and not just the talent.
Mhm.
And that's what we need to do, because we can't just be buying all these players that are just doing dodgy things behind the scenes and outside of football, because it's not going to be good for the image of the club. So yeah, wait for the information to come through, and then we can take it on from there.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
So,
Ola,
but
quickly.
just,
Mhm.
if I can just touch on it, like
Mhm.
with things like this, like Sheila said, we have, like Shizi said, we have to be careful. We don't know the full details of what has gone on, but we just hope it's not like the Greenwood situation, and it gets resolved as soon as possible. Because the more it drags on, the more it affects the player, affects his performance, and in turn affects the team. So hopefully we get more information, and they get a resolution, and no one supports domestic violence. So, but we just hope Anthony Greenwood just gone. Anthony will be another. Why, like in the words of Balotelli, why always Manchester United? Because when it comes
Mhm.
to things like this, it's always just United, one way or the other. But we just hope it's resolved as soon as possible, and we get the full details of what's going on, and hopefully he gets back to playing for us and playing well and performing week in week out, and that's it for me.
Yep, as well. And again, big up to everyone that's tuning in today. Of course, I hope these allegations are not true, and I hope, because I'm just tired of all this soap opera business, movies, man, Hollywood ST, Manchester United all the time, always
Yeah.
getting themselves into the limelight. And for once in a while, why can't we just be a normal club with no problems, you know? But we just like problems. We just love it. You like we like Love Island, we like Big Brother in all other countries.
Yeah.
Just love the drama, love the problems. It's like
Yeah.
it needs to stop. But again, guys, I said we always say this: say no to domestic violence. Your boy Everyone Spice. Big up to everyone that's tuning in today. Remember, next week there is no catch up. We're taking a break. It's International Week. We're back the week after that, but you might get a video from me streaming live on a Monday, or just a video, or basically me taking a day off. But I'm definitely live this Thursday, 5 p.m. for your latest Manchester United news, and hopefully next week Thursday, and then we'll resume back with the Premier League watch alongs. But smash that like button and share across all social media platforms. This has been the Catch Up Volume 111. Big up to everyone that's tuned in today and those that joined the panels today. Big love from everyone here. Love from Jerome, love from Ola, love from Shizi, your boy Ivorian Spice. And as always, like to end the show, remember to keep it united as much as you can. I know these Arsenal fans are just, trolling us, but you're big enough and old enough to handle it. And as well, remember to keep it Red United. Peace and love.
Peace out.
Peace.